When detectives opened the shed, the air was thick with rot and silence. The skeletal remains were discovered under layers of disturbed earth and a weather-warped tarp, curled into a shallow grave like a forgotten memory. The forensics team moved quickly. DNA was extracted from the femur and sent for urgent analysis. 3 days later, the results arrived. Brian Halloway, confirmed match. The town exhaled. Westvale had its answer. Jessica Halloway was arrested on charges of murder, obstruction of justice, and desecration of a corpse. She didn't cry when they cuffed her, didn't speak, just stared at Jacko, Brian's loyal Labrador, as he watched her from the living room window. To the outside world, it was a clean conclusion. Jessica, the grieving wife turned cold-blooded killer, had snapped. Whether it was jealousy, infidelity, or desperation, she had planned Brian's death. The fire bin, the bleach, the garden gravel, everything pointed to a methodical cover-up. The prosecution painted her as manipulative, calculating, and deeply resentful. They had the motive. They had the means. And now, they had the body. And perhaps the most damning piece of evidence? Jessica's diary was found hidden under a floorboard. Inside, a February entry that read, "He didn't drink the tea. He was supposed to. I waited. He went to the shed. That man never came back." The jury didn't need more. She was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 22 years. The press called it justice, closure. Westvale moved on, or tried to. But then the doubt crept in. Months after the conviction, D.I. Bell received an anonymous tip. "You buried the wrong man." She dismissed it at first, until she received a photo, a grainy image of a man on a cliff-top trail, walking with a cane, broad shoulders, familiar posture, face partially obscured by a hood. The caption read, "He's not in the shed." Bell reopened the DNA report herself. This time she requested mitochondrial testing, a deeper genetic crossmatch using a maternal relative of Brian, his older brother, Peter Halloway. The results came in quietly. No media, no noise. The DNA from the shed was not a full match. It was close. Similar. Enough for a rushed lab to assume identity. But it wasn't Brian. It was a biological cousin, possibly a half-brother no one in the family knew existed. Someone who shared blood, but not identity. The body in the shed was a stand-in. And that meant only one thing. Brian Halloway had planned his death, or someone had helped him disappear. But Jessica had already been convicted, and in prison, she wasn't talking anymore. Because maybe she didn't know. Or maybe she'd finally understood who had been pulling the strings, and why the devil in the cap never needed to kill her. He just needed her to take the fall.